Today, we're not going over the failures. Failure 1, failure 2, and test number 3 that worked. Today, we're going to show you the final results of our print. We know this one failed because the parts were too small. So, with that, let's cue the intro and get on designing this guy. So we have our logo, we have that one little bit that refuses to be cut down to size, which is really annoying, but I'll just sand that down at the end of the day. And anyways, so what we want to do is take all these pieces and turn it into one piece. That'll be fun. What we're going to do here is, alright, so this is the logo. This is not logo, so we're going to duplicate this. We'll simply copy that and we'll just paste as new, and then what we're going to do, okay, fine, grumpiness, turn that one off. We want the logo on, we want that on. Alright, so what, logo, and we'll just call it that. Alright, so we got the logo. What we will do now is go ahead into our logo pieces here, and we will copy all these bodies because we're going to combine everything all together as one. So copy. This stuff is going to be, should be pretty straightforward and pretty easy. Now let's go down to this component, and I should be able to paste bodies, or just paste everything in. And if we take a look at this, everything should be okay. And there's everything right there, including our cutaway, which is great. Alright, so that takes care of that. We can turn off that guy because we don't need that now. That's entertaining. Now we have the ring. Question is, so what's the ring color? Yeah, I think what we'll do is, I think the idea for me to have the ring the same color, everything consistent. So that's what we'll do. And I think as far as what I was talking about before, we need to do some experimenting with that, but I'm not going to do it with this project. And that's something that might be interesting to check out. We're going to change this to outer ring. We're going to make sure that's labeled. We don't want to copy this, we don't want any construction issues and stuff like that. So copy. And then we can go ahead and turn that off. And we can paste this in. Okay, there we go. And we're going to do ring here now at this point as well. So let's select that button. Now select the cut. Now select it. So I find it's a little bit easier doing that this way. We just combine everything. So select that guy. And we'll start by selecting the first piece, and then we'll try and start selecting the rest of it. All the way down to the bottom. And then no one keep anything, no one anything, no one anything doing, and that's going to be about that. Okay. Try this now. Maybe we'll select that. We'll see if I can move that up. Out of the way. Maybe that was part of the problem. We'll just select a handful of pieces, and we'll go from there. Combined. Okay. Those seem to be happy. We'll select even more this time. Right click and repeat action. Hit OK. Let's try something even more. So, now, my logo's so many pieces, it's insane, but I really like my logo. I can make something. Hit cancel. So it's not liking something, I don't know what it is, but hey, we'll figure it out. Okay. Come on. We can only do small handfuls at a time at this point. That is it. We're getting close to the piece that's causing me error. I have a hunch I know what the problem is. The problem is, the only issue there is I don't know how to fix it. Although I have a solution around it. Okay, so select this guy, and select that guy. So what I think, watch, I'll select these two pieces and watch what's going to happen. Line, yeah, there's the source right there. This body right here is the problem. We're just going to go read it, and we'll lay around that, and delete. Well, that was neat. Can we do that? Yes, we can. For whatever reason, that piece is causing more headaches than good. So we'll ignore that piece for now. Select everything else, and we'll combine all the rest of these. And hit OK. Yeah. In fact, we'll just turn this body off. Mark it. Do not these. We'll cut the cover. And we will isolate the little piece there. It's causing the problem. We should get the zoom in, select the bottom there, and then we can just extrude it out. Extrude. Wow, I love that, don't you? I don't know why it's not liking this. With the arrows about, I'm going to just ignore it for now. And then we hit OK. Alright, let's go ahead and do one more combine. So we are going to have more support doing it this way with all this. Let's zoom in here. Right, I'm not in the same program as once. This is all going to be filled in with support right here. And yes, that's going to be a little bit of work to remove it. I've already done it once, and with this guy, as you can see the roughness here, the result is a nice clean finish on this side, and that's what we want. So yes, we're using a little bit more material to build up our stuff here, but it's worth it. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll take a look at our settings here. I'm going to be using a PLA. The X-Perlin PLA block is what I think I'll be using in this situation because I like the looks of the material and it really fits the headset nicely. So with that said, let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at our layer height. Our layer height will be 0.06. Not all printers can do that, so keep that in mind, but the Robo R2 is capable of doing this layer height, which is really great. My last printer, I barely get 0.1 out of it if I was lucky, and I could only print maybe an inch in the middle of the printer, and that was it. It was really sad. All right, but it had two extruders. I am hoping that Robo gets their second extruder system ironed out pretty quickly, so I can do the upgrade on this machine that I have. All right. So, anyways, back to here. We will move to the next tab. We will be printing with a raft right here, just their standard 2-layer or 3-layer raft, which will be fine. And then we'll go to the next infill. I want it at 20%. Oh, let's go back to layer for a second. And I'm going to do 666 across the board. 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom, and 6 on the perimeters. This way I can get a nice, smooth, clean finish, and I don't have to worry about it. We're going to do our infill. I'm thinking 20% should be nice. That gives me the right amount of infill. Our supports, we'll just leave it as the standard stuff. And the rest of the stuff, it's just standard settings. Alright. We'll hit OK, and we'll render this out, which will just take a second. So let's take a look at this. That looks, whoa, neat. This is what happens when you use a non-standard setting. I'm not used to going back and forth, different settings, you know. So we'll back this up. And we'll take a quick look at how this is going to print. All right, so there's the raft, the first layer. As you can see here, how much support we will be using on this, and that's okay. Mind you, we're fine with this. We'll continue upwards. You'll start seeing as we move forward, it'll start printing. Well, yep, there it is. So see that little nub right there? That's to help me indicate where the top is, so that I can line it up with the headset and when I put them on. All right. I'm planning on doing one at a time, not two at once. I just think I could do them both at once and that'd be fine. But with one printing at 7 hours and 7 to 8 hours, I think a 14-hour run, actually that's not too bad. Why don't we do that? We'll finish going through this and then I'll set up for a second to print them both at the same time. All right, so it prints your bottom. Now there's your infill. As you can see, there's not too much going on there. So that's going to be ideal. And we're going to keep going up. And you'll see it start building in your center and adding into the logo. And as you can see, the logo kind of follows the whole same pattern, which is quite nice. All right, so like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to go back out. We'll zoom out a little bit. We will duplicate this once. We'll recenter. And how's that look? That looks good. I can live with that, but I think that's good. I think we'll stick with that. All right. Catch you guys later. Base. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah. Right here. Where I was. So I got two lined up, but I don't really care for. I think I'm going to make a little bit of adjustment on how I'm having these lined up. I'm going to snadge them, smush them a little bit closer. I'm going to select them both. We'll group them, and then we'll center it on the plate. I think I'm more comfortable with that than the other way. And we'll process these again. I'm not going to go through looking at them. We already did that once. All right. With that, hopefully we'll have a nice video of it printing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, cool. Start recording. All right. Now we're going to take this, just finished printing, if it's friendly enough to come off. And we'll remove that. I want to take a look at those cables when I think about it. I may have to do something about that, the way that sits. All right, I think I'm going to have another project before I do the RC thing. I might do it in between the RC, actually. What I'm thinking is I need to create a cable locking thing to help protect the cables on the printer. All right, let's take a look at this. There's a little bit of plastic here. Let's get this off the plate. A trusty knife. Gimme. Alright, excellent. That's two. Actually looks really good. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. It's subtle, but it's there. What I think I'll have to do is paint these. And what's going to need to happen is obviously we're going to need to remove all the support. And maybe not today's the day to remove the build tack and replace it with a new one. Let's just put the plate down somewhere. Bed, whatever you want to call it. Down, out of the way. We'll take a quick look here. Let's get the door out of the way. Alright, that looks pretty decent. Nice and solid. It looks fine. Alright. Let's remove the rack. That's one. Two. Alright. Damn it. Okay. Now that we dropped the camera and the mic, let's take a look at how all these go. So this comes off. And then there goes the battery. How unfortunate. And that's the other reason why we need the, so, not that I don't trust this, but, no. And that's perfect. Just like that. Voila. Look at that, guys. Pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So now, when I have it on my head, we drop the camera again. So now when we have it on my head, let's see how well this will work. Let's rotate the camera in the other direction. So you can kind of see what we're looking at. I'd say that looks pretty freaking cool. Excuse my weird looking mic in the way. Yeah, that works pretty well for me. Yes, it's because I'm looking on the screen, moving the camera around, a little awkward. Whoops. Extreme close up. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Looks pretty nice. The logo came out pretty nice. A couple of things I don't like is that those little shiny spots that are randomly sprued about. That's just due to the head end pressing against the plastic as it moves around. So it's not surprising. But overall, I mean, I think they look good. So in the end, I'd say this was a success. Alright, with that, subscribe. I am planning on starting the OpenRC project pretty soon. What I plan on doing there is we're going to print out the car. We will get the parts for the car, and then we're going to design our own car. Alright? Stay tuned, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for future updates. I'll catch you on the next one.